Now, does he not go with a water pot? Like, they want to, I think they get the water pot. Yeah, no, yeah, same with me. But at the same time, I'm like, does it to the bathroom? Sure. The distraction of, but maybe they let them drink in certain times, you know, like it's not just like a free for all in their pants. So I don't know. I have no clue.
Oh, there it is. Hey, doing?
That's going yellow. So awful. I'm like, did it make you feel bad?
We got cookies and chips and stuff.
I made.
So I went to Costco.
Oh, wow. You have a Costco membership? Wow. I'll have to go with you. I know. This looks good. The kids will like this.
I don't see a thing in the world. Shoulder's got a mattress chair. ABC's got a several now. CBS has got super fan. Whatever that is. Make sure that this is up to date. And Fox News said they're going to be. Thank you, Carmen. I was listening.
Long night last night. Yeah, it was a young lady that used to go to prom. We stayed on the phone 3 hours. She's rough time. Yeah,
Will Frank keep you out?
huh?
Because I drove my kids. I have to complain now. $24.
There's snacks out in on the table. I put them out. They're brand new, so go look and see what we got. I just went to Costco.
I can try in the dark. Are you kidding? No, I was gonna say. Yeah, you see.
You didn't bring puppies up.
Hey, did you bring me some snacks? Yeah. Hey, I got walked up to that barrier right there. And it was like, there's a barrier backed up to that bar over there. I need your name. What truck? A Ford.
Wait, is your boyfriend up there? Yeah.
Okay, that's why that was him getting home, so I don't know if he's gonna be
Do
here.
you need me?
Where's she going?
I would say he's not coming.
Hillary, you have to go pick something. I don't want to pick. Like I told Chris, I said, they're better friends than we are.
Yeah, well, we're not that.
He's
Or if you're that high maintenance, then you can't be friends.
no, not even close. He bought him something, wrapped it, and
He,
in the car.
so Monday Rich flew over Buck's Taekwondo on
Oh, really?
Monday night. Yeah, we pull out, I'm leaving the parking lot, and I'm always looking at what plane it made.
That's a real one, that's not.
That's him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him.
No.
And, anyway, so that was Monday night, so he gets home at midnight, then he left before 5 Tuesday morning, and got home yesterday at like this time, it was like 6:45. And then he left before 5 this morning, and he's just not coming home. So I think he's fried.
It's fine. Probably do it too.
Right. All right, let me give you a snack.
I wanted to show you this.
Which is good for you.
Well, I think Charlie did too.
Ooh, I liked that last try. Threw that last try.
We're gonna try them.
Are you not? No, they're supposed to be in here. Oh, in here. You're like, I got this other one back, so you're gonna buy another one.
Charlie has it too.
Hey Keith, we're just gonna get we're just gonna pass this one around. Tell me when we're on and we have sound. And we have sound. Good. Thank you. Thank you.
I was like, Dad. I said, Dad,
Okay, everybody come on in, please. Is there anybody else out there? Because we have some good news. Is everybody in here? All right. First of all, Miss Erica's back. Round of applause. Yeah. Oh, and Jerry, of course. Yes. The Grinch. And Bobby got some real good news on her report today. All of that infection stuff is gone and she's in good shape. So, but what we're going to do, and thank you for the children for coming in here for just a few minutes. We're going to get Lisa and Chris up here. And we're just going to, they've got some stuff that they got some things they need to share with you. It's good news. So, we could use a little good news. What's that old song? I forgot her name. Sure could use a little good news today. So.
Welcome to Cornerstone Community Church in beautiful Woodstock, Georgia. A Christ-centered, Bible-believing church that's full of love for one another. We invite you to sit back and relax as Pastor David delivers a message of hope for real people for everyday life. And now, Pastor David.
For a few minutes and talk about the status of the lease on our building. So as most of you know, maybe all of you know, our lease is up
October 1st.
October 1st. So that's about 5 weeks away. And you know, we've been working on finding a new building. We've been looking at different properties. We've been looking at different properties, Promised Land, a couple other places that haven't panned out. You probably already know that. What we wanted to do was, and I think probably the last you heard The deal was with Rick and, the North Central Mission Center that owns this building. It was gonna be $3,000 a month, would be the new lease amount. So we would have gone from 500 to 3,000 a month, which, honestly, $500 a month is a really good deal. So, we were getting a great deal. But $3,000 a month was not a good deal for us, maybe for other churches, but we couldn't do that on our budget. So, we wanted to go in and talk to Rick and just see if there was any flexibility, what his thoughts were, what they were looking for. So we met with him on Monday at 2 o'clock, Lisa and I did. And, we said to him, hey, we know we're getting a good deal. We appreciate only having to pay $500 a month for, however long it's been since
6 years.
6 years. Yeah, no, he was very nice at the time. And we said, but a jump from $500 a month to $3,000 a month, we can't do it. You know what our financials look like. We just won't be able to do it.
We told him that it would not be wise stewards of the money that we do have, and he was totally understanding on that.
Yeah. So we said, how can we compromise on this? And his response was, really, we just need to be able to cover our monthly expenses. And we said, okay, how much is that? $1,500. Okay, I think we can do that as a church. So we said, so you're telling us that if we can pay $1,500 a month to cover our expenses, we're good. I said, yeah, I think so. But we do have a few responsibilities on top of that. So if we were to get it for $1,500 a month, which it looks like we are, they would like for us to improve the outside. So,
Sorry. He mentioned like the parking lot, which we've heard about, right? And I said, he didn't say us to approve it, he was kind of giving items that need to be improved, and I said, well, how much is that? He said, we would cover the parking lot. I said, okay. And he said, HVAC, we cover that. I said, would it be okay if we put all this like in writing, go around and look and see what needs to be covered, what we're responsible for, what you think we need to work on, what is covered by the association? He said, of course. So like the big expenditures, the parking lot, the roof, the HVAC.
So really all the necessary maintenance.
Yeah.
For the building, the HVAC, the roof, which is about to.
He's gonna check on that, he said.
Yeah, I think its shelf life is almost done. The parking lot needs to be repaved, needs new lines.
But the association's paying for that.
And then yes, the North Central Mission Center will be paying for that. We are responsible for any improvements that
More aesthetic, like the paint.
improve the curb appeal.
The paint, we need new flooring or carpet. We talked about that. We need a little bit updating, like
And
we'll tell you later the things, but it's not nearly as pricey as what the things they're going to cover.
But that would be our responsibilities. Improvements to the outside that does not include the general maintenance of the property. Improvements to the inside, which it needs quite a bit because it's pretty dated in here. I mean, like
Circa 1995, which I love that year. I love the year, but
yeah. So
I'm not dogging the year.
One question, do we need to get a handle on how much all of the
Yeah.
inside improvements?
well, here's the thing. So they're not telling us how much we need to spend or what we need to improve.
It's up to us.
That's on us. So yeah, we would need a cost for all that. I mean, first we need to come up with a list of what we want to have done.
Which I've already done that. We'll talk about that later.
What we want to have done or what they want to have us
No, this is for our benefit, nothing for them.
Yeah, so that was the pretty cool thing is we have a lot of autonomy on this.
He said he does not want to deal with it. He's too busy. It's for our church.
And what I didn't realize is that everything in here is, you know, for us. Like those chairs out there, we can get rid of. These atrocious drapes, we can get rid of.
They might like the drapes, babe.
You know,
The tassels.
the faux plants and all that. So everything in here, you know, we can make that decision.
They're not telling us what we have to spend, how much, what we're doing. He's like, y'all do it. He gave suggestions, but he said, he's like, I do not care. It's for y'all's church. Because truly, we want people when they walk in the door to feel like they're in a place they want to be, right? And that's a lot of things, right? But the first thing that you notice when you walk in the front door is the way things appear, right? And we could just update it a little bit, I think.
One of the suggestions was a darker background here for, you know, visual effects and all that, whatever.
Which, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Pastor
that-
David-
that can be discussed
yeah,
later, but, so anyway, that's really the bottom line. You know, $1,500 a month to cover all the necessary expenses. And then, over time, making improvements to the exterior and interior as we see fit.
What is, as far as exterior, like curb appeal, like,
He didn't really say.
You know,
that's what I'm wondering, like,
I don't know.
small
I
plots,
mean,
No, actually,
I mean, you look at it and the building's pretty bland.
He- no,
But I don't really know.
he
what-
didn't say anything about that. He actually said just the parking lot because they've upgraded the landscaper. And he said, y'all choose if you want to do that.
or who's paying for the landscaping?
They are. And then I know one thing is the
that's part of the
sign needs to be updated. He did say that.
What, the sign,
Well,
the
it's
back,
In the back, yeah.
not the big sign.
No, that
The
one.
big sign's updated and modern, that's like,
Yeah.
took us back to 1995.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
So,
big
you
year.
know, we, in my
I just
opinion,
want to point that out.
Well, the big sign needs to be updated in that we are supposed to be Cornerstone Woodstock as opposed to Cornerstone Community.
And we can do that. Yeah. I think I honestly think he's said several times we do not want y'all to leave. We don't want y'all to feel like you're not welcome here. He's like, that's never been my intention to make y'all feel that way. He was, yes.
Did anything come up about use of the building? Like, are we pigeonholed into
No.
Wednesday night at 6:30 and
No.
Sunday morning?
He said he makes a big point of if we need it. So we were going to actually ask this.
Because that was a concern.
Yes, we're gonna
If we
actually
had
ask-
more-
So he said if we request the date, he makes sure it's clear. We were gonna actually,
he said he always looks at our calendar before he
First.
schedules anything.
Good, so we need to make our calendar more,
Yeah.
well, we were actually
Robust.
thinking that he should ask us
right.
for the
But
time.
it sounds like he already looks at our calendar.
But we
so-
want to put that in writing, so that's part of the deal, right? And then he also said that he would combine an office.
To give us another room?
Well, so
Yes,
that-
might.
that's-
Don't say anything, Bobby, yet.
That's really the only sticking point is this doesn't really give us any extra space for the kids, which is what we were looking for. So we were talking about other ideas, some creative ideas. He did say in the meantime that one of the back rooms back here they might be able to combine them so it frees up a room.
And then a trailer out back, like at school, like we're gonna look into getting one of those.
No, like a modular unit back there. Like I said, you
That
know.
would be like the
some
kids.
creative things, but again,
Yeah.
that can be talked about at a later date. So, yeah, really, the key points were the $1,500 a month, which, in my opinion, is still a good deal. That's way under market rate.
He said we could have it up to 5 years in the contract. All of this would be in writing. Yes.
And the 1,500 still includes all overhead, all utilities?
Yes.
We're not paying
Yep.
utilities?
Correct.
Okay.
Good question.
The improvements that are our choice, and then, you know, that's really about it. choice.
Our choice, but he has an expectation.
Well, no, honestly, I think that, he doesn't want us to come to him and say this needs to happen when we have a $1,500 rental price, right? I feel like he wants us to take care of what needs, right? That's kind of more, I don't think it's an expectation, I think it's more a, don't come and ask me for new carpet, new flooring, that needs to happen, cause you're getting a discounted price. That's kind of, and we'll make sure that's all specified in anything in writing.
Well, that would be in the new lease agreement, but, so this is a memorandum of understanding, which he asked us to write up and send to him, and really it just covered the topics that we just talked about, that we talked about with him in the meeting. I sent it to him yesterday afternoon, I guess, and I think he was out of the office today.
I clarified, he said he will look at it for first thing tomorrow morning.
Look at it tomorrow, hopefully sign it, because it's everything that we talked about.
So he
And-
doesn't have an expectation of
No.
us to change the carpet?
No, I made,
That's a pretty huge expense.
no, I made sure that I made sure to clarify that, because I don't want us to, there to be, like, I think previously it was, you guys do $1,500 a month in improvements, and I'll let you have $1,500 a month in rent. I said, wait, hold on. Are you gonna be lying? Like, looking at what we're doing, he's like, no, I want y'all to do the improvements to make your church grow, or what needs to happen here. But he's like, that's on y'all. But we'll make sure again that this is all in writing, because I don't want there to be any, like, missing parts, right?
And having said all that, I think it would behoove us to look at our financials and start cutting things out. See what we can cut, see what we, maybe not out completely, but at least reduce a little bit. Because, you know, $1,500 is a good rate, but it's still quite a jump from what we've been
Well,
paying.
especially because we were break even last year. But hopefully we're stronger this year in our tithes and offerings. I don't know.
I think we cut it
Can-
several new families.
Can you read number 4, just to clarify?
Because we were breaking even at 500.
Just to clarify?
Well, to let them, I think Debbie wants to know, that was what Debbie was asking, so. This is in writing that he's gonna sign off on, Debbie, like, in number 4, which I was.
Oh,
working
yeah,
on.
so in point number 4, I wrote, there will be no minimum or maximum requirement to be spent by Cornerstone Church on capital improvements to the building. However, the parties have discussed certain improvements that should be made to the exterior fascia to improve the curb appeal of the building. Additionally, improvements to the interior were discussed as well, with the intent being to improve the overall aesthetic and visual impression of the church and to bring the design more current. So that's in there, and that's, you know.
And I think that's good, because if we're going up from 500 to 1,500, that's 1,000 more a month we've got to come up with just off the bat before we can even start making them.
Well, based on our financials that we've reviewed, we're good.
Okay.
So,
We don't have anything
Oh, I would-
extra to
I'm not-
spend.
we,
Have we
What?
gotten 2023s where we are, like, from January to July? Sorry, y'all don't know this, but do we know? Like, for 2020,
I think the
how do
most
we,
recent we
how do we
have
obtain
is
it? I
through
know,
April.
yeah.
In May,
We can update that though.
because 2022, we were pretty much break even at 500. So if we are running at the same rate, that means when our rate goes up to 1,500, we're gonna be in the red $12,000 every year.
Right, so we'll probably have to pull from the capital fund, some.
Or hopefully our tithing has increased. I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm just talking out loud.
But with that being said, we have the flexibility to be here for 5 years with that budget, which I think is way below market value and expectation, right? So,
So
Right, so-
he's saying he will sign off on 1,500 for the next 5 years.
well, we've,
Or is
Well-
there
we've sent
any-
that to him,
I mean,
so we'll let you know when he,
That's another point I was gonna make, is,
What it costs of living in the country.
so, a few things I think probably need to happen between now and October 1st. We need to look at our P&L and, you know, see how we can lean that out, see how we can lean out the P&L a little bit, all
I
right?
already have done that, but, okay, you were absent.
I think
You
we
had a
all-
bad cold.
I think we all need to look at it, see what we can cut out. We need to, probably come up with a short list at least of the improvements that we would like to make and how much it would cost. And then have some idea of how long we want the lease term to be, whether it be month to month, a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. And then we can go from there, but.
He was definitely like, what, yeah.
No, he was very, very nice.
Little change of heart from what it was to begin with.
Hey, look, I'll take it. That's how, because I didn't see it at the beginning. I'll take it all
I
day
brought
long.
a pretty lady with me. What?
What?
So what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Is there a time frame on the outside improvements? Can we get bids on those?
No, there's no time, like, that was my big thing. That's up to us.
I think he just wants to see progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, the landscaping made a huge difference.
Yes,
Yeah.
he told me
Got
that
a
they,
new company,
it,
and they did, Janice had them do a lot of
and I agree.
trimming and a lot of stuff,
And he showed us that, which I
which
was.
has
kind of-
made a big
yes.
difference. And
Yeah,
We
And that's not
have
on
the
us
bushes
anyway.
and the
No.
sign put in.
Right.
that was
The
their
lights.
decision.
We've already done the lights for the sign and the bushes and all of that out there we did that, so.
Yeah.
And
But that's not on us, right?
Nope.
So all
What's
that
the-
was taken care of.
What's the approval process for them using this room other than for us?
So-
In other words, if I pay $3,000 a month, this is exclusively ours.
Yeah, so it's
And that's what I'm asking. So $1,500 a month, what do they have to do to get from David or whoever permission to rearrange this room for their meetings?
No, I was actually gonna, we had talked about this, I actually was gonna, request that they ask us, if possible, right?
They should approve it through David,
Of course.
my humble opinion.
Right, but have that in writing in the
Well,
lease.
yeah.
We
Right.
can't, that's, everything's
Right
gotta be.
now, the meetings that they're having, if we have anything very large, they don't do it here, they've been trying to do it in the area of each association, using the church there and taking turns, so it's more,
Fair enough.
it's fair for the pastors that are traveling from thing to thing, so he doesn't have that much here. Alan used to have more here.
But I feel
Are
like.
you talking about on Sunday mornings and Wednesday evenings?
How many want to use this room?
No, Sundays and Wednesdays are
Oh.
ours.
No, he's saying
No,
outside
he's
of that.
saying we
This-
need
this
to
church
Well,
should-
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna.
Well, that goes, all right, good. No, I was just gonna say, that goes back to the point that put it on the calendar.
In detail in the lease, how that,
Well, I'm
whether
gonna
it
say
goes
this,
to
I'm not,
David.
that's not gonna, I don't want that to be a sticking point, honestly. We're getting $1,500 a month, is so below mark what we could get this place for. So I feel like if that's a sticking point, if that's important to you guys, I don't know how many times we really use this outside of Sundays and
A
Wednesdays.
lot of, when we have any special event.
But we know those dates ahead of time, right? So we put them on the calendar, do an Outlook invite, they sign up.
But that we've also limited our use of the facility because we've been told we only have it on Sundays.
Have we?
Have we really?
I didn't know.
Well,
we did
I don't know,
that.
like if you.
I'm willing to be, limit a little bit to, if y'all wanna be here, I'm willing to give there, but y'all decide what y'all think.
That'll be a
The idea-
negotiation
The
point.
idea isn't that we're giving in, the idea is what's the approval process.
Right, and just have it written in the
So,
lease, cause
so
right now
we know
it's very
there's gonna be a
gray.
headbutting, or we come in on a Sunday morning and all of a sudden all the chairs are everywhere.
No,
We
no,
gotta
Sundays and
stop.
Wednesdays are a given for us.
Well, but he's saying if they do something on Saturday and they trash the room.
That has happened,
Then who has to clean it up?
that has happened,
That has happened.
Since we've been here?
yes ma'am.
Well, I think the chairs were rearranged,
Well,
but,
the room was
Trash?
trashed.
yeah, sorry,
This
I
was
used the wrong
chairs
word.
set up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's gonna have to be a discussion going forward.
So if we know they have an event going, then we get here a little early and make sure.
I came in Sunday to try to set up for service, and it took 3 weeks to get this computer system back up and running
Because of something.
properly because of something that they did.
Oh, yeah, I
in
remember
their
that.
meetings.
Is this our equipment? Is this the church's equipment?
It took 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's
For me to
issues.
figure out what had
Okay.
changed.
Yeah, write all that stuff down, and that'll be in the agreement. I mean,
Right, so it
We
can
were
be
not gonna
noted
know
in
that.
the lease, yeah.
But at the same token, remember, if we go rent a church, school, we have to break down and set up every single Sunday and Wednesday.
Well, and it's like 1,500 a week or something, right?
Every meeting.
It isn't the problem they're gonna use it, the problem is, most of us aren't aware of it, and all of a sudden.
I think there's nothing wrong with being, he said that even, he's like, we will make sure that we work and collaborate on that. Like, that's a non-negotiable in my opinion. Just to plan. Hillary doesn't like to plan, like you, but we will make sure that that's planned and in the right, right?
Christina does the calendar now, and she puts in tentative, and then I gave Janice a copy of that calendar.
We'll make sure that Rick is aware of that though, because he even said that, he said, let us know what you need and want, and we'll work with you guys. That's what, he kept saying that to us, we'll work with you.
And it seems like they're using it 4 times a year. This part, is that fair to say, Bobby?
Right now, the only thing Rick has been having here, he had 1 or 2 little meetings, but then he started moving those to other places.
That's what I'm saying. So at most, we're talking
And
4
then we've
times
got
a year.
like 4 associational meetings for Etowah, because this is the central location for the Etowah Association.
So 6.
But they, they just sit in the chairs now, they don't even move them around, like Alan used to move them around on tables and stuff.
Well, I think what Jerry
I
was
wish
saying,
they move them so we can get them.
I think what you're saying is you just wanna communicate with, make sure we're on the same
And have
page.
protocols.
So we're-
You know when it's gonna happen.
So we're prepared.
Protocol.
Fair enough.
In the morning, you got people here to do it.
Take
Yeah.
minutes.
Welcome back.
But what he said, obviously has to be noted in a more,
If they're gonna use the equipment, fine, but just be sure they
Well,
put it back correctly.
Please make sure you let us know, I mean, did y'all find out what the hiccup was, so I can let them know?
How are you to use it?
that's not what he said. Yeah, let you come in and run it.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll just put a clause in there, if they plan on using the equipment or they wanna use the equipment, someone from our staff has to be present
or they have to make
to
sure that
operate it or to oversee the operation.
otherwise, that's off limits. We'll put some yellow tape around it, caution, don't touch.
It's not easy back there, because you got all those screens, all those systems, some go to the.
Well, maybe we just say they don't touch ours,
Temperament.
we label it, and they don't touch what we have.
If they wanted to use the screens or even the mics, they would have to be able to use that, because they don't have system back there anymore. We took theirs out and put ours in this.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't-
Or maybe they have one specific person that you train.
We'll find out how.
Yeah, that could be
Right now, they're
Yeah,
not.
that can be worked out.
Yeah, we can figure that out.
It just needs to be worked out.
And
So this is like a 30,000 foot type thing right now. So the big points, what do you think about the $1,500 a month rate? Good?
It's better than the initial offer,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
All right.
I mean, first comment we made was like, $3,000 does not work.
He didn't start out that way though. He started out at $1,500 a month, and we had to take like 25 or 30,000 and make improvements. That include, for $1,500 a month, we had to take that money and make improvements. Now you've dropped the improvements, as far as I can tell, other than what we want to do.
Right.
Mhm.
But this wasn't what we wanted to do, this is what they wanted us to do.
Oh, I made sure to ask them several times.
About these.
But, I mean, but we can all agree that like a little bit of updating would benefit us, right? We are not doing it for them.
But it's
Yeah.
not dictated to us, it's our discretion.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Time out. You
Yes.
guys have done a great job.
Yes.
I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I
We
think
know.
so.
Jerry and I would have gone in there, there would have been fist fights as a result.
We know.
So I think y'all did the right thing.
Whatever. No,
I say girl power.
You did.
the Lord did that, right?
Well,
The thing is, there's a lot of ambiguities there that we could get caught.
Well, like I said, this is not a contract.
No,
So-
I'm gonna tell you 100%, I don't do it, I'm black and white, and I told him that, I said, everything's gonna be in writing and line item. Like, so y'all tell me what you want in the contract, I don't do handshake, I'm sorry, I wasn't raised that way, I do writing, and make sure y'all are
So
comfortable.
this is just a memorandum of understanding of how the
To get the ball rolling.
conversation
Springboard.
went and what we talked about, and if what we talked about is okay.
So no, ambiguity is like a bad word to me.
Who's gonna write the lease? Is he gonna write the lease? Since he's the landlord?
I can't write a lease.
I mean, I think maybe an attorney should write the lease. I want it to be very ironclad, like, I don't want us to feel like we're walking in, what do you think?
Well, Janice will be retired, so she'll be gone by the end of the year.
So that was not, we made sure, we knew that, but we did not.
Just in case, but they're beginning to tell everyone, so she and CV will be, you know.
So we might have to spend $150-200 to write a contract. We'll make sure
I think.
I'll get a price on the contract, but like, I think that's important to protect us.
David has a copy of the current lease, so. maybe
My
Chris-
dad might be
Yeah.
willing, when he gets back from
Yeah, if I could
his
look.
full.
Yeah.
My dad might be willing to look over it and help too. He can this one can write a contract, anyway, go ahead.
No, I'm not an attorney.
Well, it just needs to.
He could totally do it.
be done.
Yeah, he's good at that.
So, anything else?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not trying to cause trouble here, but the term on the lease would be whatever.
Whatever y'all want.
Well, that's still to be negotiated.
He threw out 5 years, but if y'all want month to month, you want,
No, and I said 5 years would be great, as long as.
make sure that's what, or month to month, or year to year, and we reevaluate. Y'all, that's negotiable.
Typically in leases, you have a security deposit. I assume that is not gonna be the case
No.
here. So if we have some kind of ability to break the lease. I don't know, I'm just saying like, I mean,
We
what
can
if,
look at the contract.
what if God provides our own building,
That will
you
all
know?
be there. That's why an attorney needs to do it.
No, it doesn't, anyway.
And something else?
Jerry had a question, I think.
Rob?
Rob? Oh, Rob,
Glad to have you back, Mary.
do y'all feel good about this? Kinda, sorta, kinda?
You know, and,
Y'all did good.
look.
You ask for what you want, and then we will meet in the middle. Like, y'all throw out anything you want. If you want him to ask permission to use the building,
I think that's what I said. I'm
let's
like,
do it. Let's do it, y'all. I don't
the
care.
answer's no
It
until
doesn't
you
make
get
any
answer's
difference,
all-
it doesn't make a difference whether it's on the calendar or not. We know what they want, they know what we want on the calendar. They still have to go to David and say, okay, or the.
Here, okay,
the elders,
I- that's-
or whatever, and say, we
Can
would
we
like
use
to
it on
do
this
something.
day?
That's what I actually proposed. So here's the deal. If you don't ask, the answer's always no, right? So like that was my proposal. He can always say no. And then I can say, look, if we have it on the calendar, we have first dibs. Fair?
Yeah. So at least in the short term, this solves the problem of the lease, and then, you know, later on down the road, if we outgrow it, you know, God willing,
We have the option
Then-
to move on.
we can move on, but at least, you know, we have a
There's
place
always a
right now.
cancellation in the lease. Just make sure it's a fair cancellation for both parties.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, we were gonna offer maybe a 30-day, I mean,
or 6.
We can talk about all that.
we
later.
can.
But again, those are details that.
Yeah.
But he said several times he does not want us to leave, he wants to see us thrive, and he's willing to come talk to us after we make an agreement, so y'all feel a little bit more comfortable with the communication. I thought that might be a good bridge.
Yep.
But first we'll get what we want, and then he can come talk.
Right.
Fair
Right.
enough? What?
Agreed.
We don't have comments for that one.
Nice. Looked like he was enjoying himself.
Okay.
Yeah, Rich, what's the matter with you? How come you're not commenting?
Rich has been very, 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 he sent us to do this. We're your advocate.
As far as the improvements, is there gonna be some type of, process to, I mean, everybody's got
approval?
different tastes. I
Like
personally love these grapes.
She said, take them home.
But, no, I mean,
What I think you should do is you should make lectures, and you should come up here and give a presentation.
I'm just
And-
saying, you know,
Well, I think what he's saying is if we wanted to paint this room hot pink, is there an order?
No, he told us, no, because
I think you would get a lot of pushback.
I don't mean to brag, I'm not gonna brag on Chris and I, but we were talking, we were making comments and we're like, we promise, we'll promise we
Now,
we'll make it.
you know, he did
He
say
made some suggestions,
that,
which
and
is
we have
fair,
talked about it too, like a dark background for
For the
this, like
camera,
black or
yes.
very dark gray.
Which you, I think you said that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pastors talked about that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think that buck stops with Pastor David, like, in Rick said that, he said, look, y'all figure out what you want, we'll make sure that we don't have to get approval, but we're gonna be tasteful, right? Of course. Yeah.
Well, and that's what my
And
point was.
respectful.
As a church, how do we come up with a good, who decides what type of drapes? Or what color the
There's gonna be no drapes.
You can take the drapes.
Thank you.
the drapes is it?
Take them to your house and put them up.
Can I take this to my dining room?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there chandeliers?
Anyway, I mean, that's a good question, that's actually a good point, do y'all wanna vote on those types of things, or do you want?
Well, that's in our bylaws, right? What do our bylaws say?
Okay,
We would need to vote on
okay.
major expenditures, not minor, not like $100.
Not like removing the drapes
No.
and patching some holes.
Those poor drapes.
No, but for like carpet or paint or things like that, we'll talk about it.
Okay. But I'm kind of of the school of thought too, like, whoever wants to take charge of that and roll.
What'd you say?
I said, I don't, I mean, y'all, whoever wants to take charge of that and roll, which I think Rich just raised his hand.
What?
No, I'm just saying,
I trust-
you open up a can of worms when you have a broad, you have a
That's a, I mean, I think
broad
that's fair.
range of people, and then how are we gonna decide on it?
He said
And that-
range. He didn't spell it. I think you can be a range.
So it doesn't, and that goes into other things, what else are we, gonna be coming together to vote?
Well, why don't we make a list of that
Yeah.
collectively and maybe talk about that before we roll?
Because we are gonna get,
Cause y'all realize September 30th is coming really, really, really fast, so.
5 weeks. Anything else on the big points?
Chris is like, please let me
I
have
know.
the hot seat.
Can you tell?
No.
Alright, thank you guys for your attention. So,
I think they did a great job for us. And the other thing is, it was so wonderful for me to stand up and watch somebody else squirm behind this podium, other than me.
we're talking about Chris though.
Well, let's just continue with this thought in mind. I was talking to Keith just a little while ago. I believe it's, and I'm just going to say it, I believe it's time for some of the younger people like Chris, like Rich, like Tyler, like the triple threat, families, because they have the children. They're much younger. They're at least a generation behind us. I plan to last a while, but I won't be here forever, and I think we need some other people besides me. And I've talked to Norm about it, and he's agreeable. Keith's agreeable. Not that we're abdicating, but I think we need to set up some other people to be in charge of things, and yes.
To bear the burden, cause y'all, I mean, to take it off your plate, to make your,
Well,
make it easy.
it's not even that, but let me say some things. Let me write down some things that we used to have. We used to have a ladies' Bible study every year, which was a big thing, like 7 nights, 5 nights, 5 nights, 5 nights, yeah. And we used to have men's Saturday breakfast. We yeah. We need to have some way to start a youth group, whether we have youth or not.
We do have youth, Estella.
Well, that's fine.
That's so sad. That's not fine.
It's not fine?
No.
She's old. But we need some way to generate programs, generate events to get in here. And of course, instead of me driving to Cartersville to do counseling, I can do it here. So there's a lot of things that we can use this building for, just Christmas and rehearsals and things like that. We're going to be in here for that. And I think Christina's doing the Christmas this year, is that right? So we'll have rehearsals for that. Hey, this is totally would you think about having a short adult one-act play for Christmas?
Like a goofy one.
Yeah, it don't matter to me. I don't care.
Versus Jesus.
Just, well, you may be typecasting there, but.
Maybe Tyler. He's got the. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
But it doesn't even have to be of wise men and that sort of thing.
Just a wise man with sandals.
Just a modern Christmas. Think about it. Okay, I've thrown that out there. All right, so that will take rehearsals. We used to rehearse the band on Thursday night, but we don't do that anymore. We do it at my house. We do it at the studio, but we could rehearse here. And there's all kind of things we can do that we have stopped doing, especially since we left the other building, the black building. So we had stuff going on almost every day over there. Something was going on. So it was close. It was close. Well, I say day, I mean night. Something was going on all the time. So if we set up this new system, then I feel comfortable that we can have freedom within this space to do that again. So anyway, there's a lot we can do. Oh, and missions. We've stopped. What we've done is pretty much stop almost everything in order to throw every dime we have into the bank so that we can, we were saving up for a building, but that's back before the increase in everything. So there's a lot that we can do, but I think we need to pray and think in terms of another layer of leadership, another layer of being responsible. But we used to have a church council. We met once a month. There's all kind of stuff we used to do that we don't do anymore. Some of it may not need to be done, but there's a lot of it to include a lot of people. However, I'm quick to say that the attrition of the past 6 months has been obvious with Lamar and Shirley and Bud and Betty and Miss Eva passing and Miss Sarah passing, and there's a lot of some people not here anymore, that used to be here all the time. So we might need somebody to think about a way to get people in the building. We made that video. We spent money on that video. It's a very professional video. If it could be put on YouTube or Twitter, what is that? Twitter. I mean, I don't know any stuff like that, but I'm willing to learn. It's just we need to take advantage of everything that we can to get into the community. The days are gone, in my opinion, the days are gone of walking up and knocking on somebody's front door Tuesday evening right at dinner time. I just think those days are gone. You'll get shot, at worst, you'll get yelled at best, and it just doesn't happen much anymore. So we've got to come up with some other ways to draw some people in. Our kids need more kids, which is a problem, because we don't have room. It's the kids we don't have room for any more. But if we can get a modular unit in here to sit out there, which we have talked about a long time ago, but it went by the wayside. If we could get a modular unit on the property that had air and heat and maybe a restroom, that would be great. And we could just designate that as the youth hangout and then build it from there. You know, build it and they will come, Kevin Costner style. So there's a lot we can do, and I appreciate Lisa and Chris doing this. That was great. I was staying up nights, $3 grand, but now 1,500, much more doable, and I think there's a lot ahead for us. There's also we have no follow-up on people that come and visit. I'm not talking about following them home. I'm talking about just now they used to do that. Oh yeah. You'd beat them home. If they go out to lunch, you'd beat them home. Back in the 80s, that's the way we did it.
That was your goal?
That's the way we did it. Was to be there, standing on, that's right, standing on the porch waiting on them. Y'all must have gone out to lunch. What you have there? So we need somebody to think about how we can interact with people. I can think of 1, 2, 3, 4 couples that have come and aren't here. One couple we lost because we don't have missionaries and I don't use the King James Bible. So, you know, you can't please
But at that point,
everybody.
they should go somewhere that they
Yes,
know
they
better,
should, and
right?
they are. I made certain that they have gone, and I still text them back and forth. We're good friends. We're not good friends, but
But that's
we're
good.
fine. We're fine. But there are others that I don't know why they didn't come back. So I'm as guilty as anybody else. So I need to be involved in all this too. There's a lot to do, I guess is what I'm saying. And if we've got a new lease on life, pardon the pun, 3 to 5 years is a long time, and we can do a lot. The music is just, I've had nothing, even though many of you really don't like contemporary Christian music, and I'm aware of that, but you have not sent me any hate mail, and you have not threatened my life, so I appreciate that. And the music has gone up a step with Rick and Jason and me sort of backing out of the way. Now, come Labor Day weekend, I don't know if you'll be here or not, but we will be having old-timey praise and worship
Did you
day.
mention it on Sunday, every Sunday though?
Do what now?
No, we're gonna do praise and worship first, and then hymns.
Yeah, we're going to swap
And then
this
Pastor
around.
David.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, so we got a lot of singers in this place. We do. They
Yeah,
won't.
Chris actually would like to volunteer.
They won't say that they are, but there are people that can play and sing. Amy could do a song, and I'm happy to do a song. We'll get Rick to get up here and either sing or play for me while I sing, or whatever. And Dave can get up here and pantomime and dance and do whatever he does. So there's a lot of things we can do to generate energy within the church. And what I feel like has slowed us down almost to a stop is not knowing where we were going to be the next 3 to 5 years. But it sounds like now, thanks to y'all, we may know where we're going to be. It's not going to be where we end up forever. No. It'll be one day Cornerstone will have its own building, its own place. But for now, we don't have to worry. We don't have to pack up all that stuff back there and pull all these cablings out of the walls. We don't have to do any of that. We're home for sounds like 3 to 5 years, sounds like. So we're home and we can relax and we can have some fun and go to work and really enjoy building a church is a blast. I've done it. And it's a blast. It's great. It's a lot of fun if we all get involved and kind of do something. Everybody do something. Anybody else? I've kept you all over. I'm sorry. This has been very beneficial. And I'll be singing again this Sunday. So. I don't know if I will or not, but somebody will be. Somebody will be. Anything else before we close? Thank you, Lord, for Erica and her improvement, and for Jerry and his smiling face. It's so good to have him back. And for Bobby, she got a great report from the doctor. Anybody else? We need to continue to pray for Beverly and Keith and the family, Amy and Chris. Beverly is at Cynthia's apartment and taking care of closing that down and getting things out of there and doing the things that have to be done, unfortunately, when somebody goes home to be with the Lord. So, yes, sir.
Does she need any help with that?
I know.
Just general moving help, just muscle, strong back, weak spine, because Rob's not doing anything. I was just wondering if she does need anything.
My experience is
We will be moving boxes and moving furniture and whatnot at some point early next week. And probably we'll just hire some lumbers to do that for us. Right now, we're still boxing up papers and boxing up dishes and knickknacks and going through stuff. So as much as we appreciate that offer, there's really not room for more than one or two in that apartment
yeah.
as it is.
So what you're saying, good match with the work?
Is that?
Good match with the work?
You sound like Rob.
Yeah, if you have a badge.
Yeah.
Good match.
So, that was very kind. Thank you. And he'll let us know. He will. They will let us know. And anybody else need anything? Oh, the church, paid a crew to go and deep clean Shirley and Lamar's house. And he called me, and he was almost in tears. He said, thank y'all so much for doing
Really good
that.
idea, because
Well,
she obviously can't, and
right. And he
either, so.
well, he's like me. He doesn't see it. Bobby says, this place is just filthy. And I go,
Where?
I don't see it. I promise. I'm not being mean. I just don't see it. Yeah. There's nothing crawling or wiggling or,
Because you can't see it, because it's covered up by everything else.
Yeah, see? So it's okay. But anyway, so we've done that. Those are the kind of things we don't need to lose track of. We don't need to lose track of our people. And that's what you can do in a small church. You can't do it in a big church, but you can do it in a small church. So, all right. Anything else? But if you would pray, and Chris, if you would pray and tell Tyler his name came up to pray, if you guys would consider kind of stepping in as the next layer. We'll talk about it a lot before we do anything. Anybody else? And of course, you would bring your wives with you. We know that. We know that goes without saying.
Is that the problem? That's why it's taking a while.
It's
That's why there's a lot to talk
it's not a problem, but it's a consideration. Okay, well, let's close. Father, we thank you for all that's been said and done tonight. Thank you for Rick and Chris and Lisa for talking to Rick and getting our finances for the rent settled and a lot of things settled that has just weighed upon all of our minds. And we thank you now that we can look more forward to spreading the gospel, raising the kids, and doing the things that you really want us to do. And Father, just bring more people. Just bring them. We will love them. And hopefully they will love us. So just bring them, Father, and we will preach and teach what is in this wonderful, wonderful book. Bless us and give us strength and mercy until Sunday. Bring us back again. For us in Jesus' precious name, we all say together, amen and amen. All right, you are dismissed. If you see anybody that's in the church, kind of fill them in on what went on tonight. So.
Thank you for tuning in today to hear Pastor David's message. We hope that you take this opportunity to draw closer to your family and closer to God. If you want to financially support this ministry, we will include a link below where you can send a donation. If you enjoyed the service today, please click the like button for this video. And if you would like to follow us on YouTube, just click the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to click the YouTube notification bell so you'll be notified every time a new video is posted. I hope you have a blessed day, stay safe, and stay strong in Christ.